wonder if they attract more women, more mothers than more men on their show. But okay, so next up is Weblo. This is a place online where you can have your alter ego, which seems to be very popular these days online. So let's take a look.
This internet entrepreneur believes it's time to bring virtual living to the mass audience. He's putting everything from the real world up for sale in a virtual world called Weblo.
Because Weblo is a carbon copy of this world, all the real estate is a copy of this world also. So which means your house, my house, any of the other property around the world is for sale on Weblo now.
Rocky Mirza believes people will pay $1 for a piece of virtual real estate with potential to go up in value.
Say, if your friend bought your house, for sentimental reason, you might want it back and give them $1.25 or $1.50. But most importantly, if you have a property, for example, say you bought, say, Algonquin College, and Algonquin College, all these other 18,000 students coming to Algonquin College go to see who has that property, and obviously that traffic will make money.
So here I was looking around the site, and you know, you could buy the Empire State Building for $60. You can manage a celebrity like Richard Rosenblatt. I guess he's a celebrity of demand media for $20. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you can buy and sell a number of items, and apparently people are doing that. And also, the way this company makes money is every time you invite someone to join the company, to join the site, you get $1.
I think the way they make money.
That's the way. Well, if I invite you, if I join, they make $1.
Okay.
So, but there's also, you can actually make real advertising dollars. So if you own, you could actually become a mayor in this. If you own the city, you can actually be a governor, and you actually start. If you can also put ads on your site, and you get $1 CPM. Obviously,
it's where virtual goods meets a pyramid scheme.
It's somewhat of a pyramid scheme.
And then you create some deputy mayor, gets a piece of that mayor's thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anybody who
can I
registers.
become an actor and then become a governor?
You can be anyone you want, which is interesting. I guess you can. You can, or you can manage the actors and manage. That's exactly what you're. I mean, it's basically being the person you may want to be. It's your alter ego.
What I liked about this site was the virtual goods problem. I sort of just at the basic economic level is you can keep creating more, and so I know that like Gaia and other folks put things out there for a very short period of time. Like you can buy this sword or this flaming hat or whatever it is, but you can only buy it for like 2 weeks, and then it's gone forever.
It's a limited edition. It's
a limited edition. So everything, but I mean, obviously with virtual goods, there is no without sort of some synthetic limitation, there is no limitation.
Right.
And so the nice thing about this is at least they found
there's
an angle, which is there's only one of everything in the universe,
right,
in theory, so that you can only get the one thing. So there's only one Vader TV that I can buy in the virtual world and own that, or whatever it may be. Now the problem is there's a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, that's clever, I think, about the idea.
And you know what's fascinating is that I did this piece on Cyworld, which is the Korean company, virtual world social network company. They were doing $300,000. This was back a couple of years ago. $300,000 in sales a day. Just on selling, you know, and I even bought some stuff with my virtual acorns. That's what they use, virtual acorns, and I was buying sort of virtual rugs and, you know, dressing up my virtual squirrels. Virtual squirrels and my virtual mini house and virtual Picassos and stuff like that. So, but what's fascinating is that people actually buy this stuff. And it's totally, if you.
Well, I think what you have to remember with virtual goods is that the reason people make the purchases is because of the context in which they're purchasing it, right? So, I mean, the reason people buy things on Cyworld is because they have actually become committed to Cyworld itself.
Right.
And so once you're actually committed to that, or you're committed to Gaia, or you're committed to Facebook or Second Life or whatever it is, then that is a reality for you, and it makes sense to buy things within that reality. What I'm not hearing here is what is their pitch to actually get people committed to their platform? Like, what is the fun reason I'm there in the first place? Right?
Why am I there to increase my status through goods?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have to want to increase my status. I have to be in a situation that makes me want to increase my status.
Right.
You know, otherwise, you know, would I rather own the Eiffel Tower on Weblo, or would I rather own it on Second Life? Well, presumably I'd rather own it on Second Life.
Because there's people there.
So I think that, you know, the battle among these companies is, you can imagine 5 companies all starting off all doing exactly what he's doing, right?
Sure.
Right.
You know, anyone can say I'm selling the Eiffel Tower. The battle among all of them is who has the more entertaining game to begin with.
Right, and that's the
I
trick.
wonder if you're like the Weblo troll who went around and bought like all the cool stuff for $1 and then just dismantled it. Like,
Yeah, we just refused to sell it anyway.
Yeah, you were the guy who bought
Only
the
person.
White House and then took it apart. Anyway, sorry, that's sort of a creepy, demented version of it. But I think that could actually be kind
It's
of a
like
problem.
the South Park person
The
who was
South
playing
Park person,
World
yeah.
of Warcraft. And
Yeah,
was
but I agree. You gotta have a
nice
reason to be
here.
there. Otherwise, why have
Yeah.
all the stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I were them, I would hire some people with gaming expertise,
Right.
and I would try to turn it into a game. I think it's a really neat idea that could sit on top of a game if they could develop a game.
Right,
Right.
right. There is, I mean, I do remember Wallop. Do you guys remember Wallop? They started off, they came out of Microsoft. Yeah, and so they were all about virtual goods, virtual trading. And I had the same concerns. Well, why am I even there in the first place? You have to sort of build a network first. You have to
It's
build a
cart before the
community of
horse
people.
sort of thing.
I think you're right. And so
Yeah.
now they're a social network. So it'll be interesting to see where this, how this company evolves. But it looks like they're generating at least $1 million in revenue if their profile's accurate. So,
Which is 6 trillion
is there a
acorns.
substantial business here in virtual worlds?
Well, there's a substantial
anyone?
business in virtual goods. I think the question is this going to be substantial? Can you start with pure, unabashed materialism and turn that into a social network? I don't know. I think the question becomes, with virtual materialism, is it better to actually have a product people go there for that they increase their status through virtual goods?
Right.
Start as a social network.
Well, start as something,
I don't-
some reason to be there.
I mean,
Right.
what I would hope is that if it turns out that they're not getting traction, they will start putting their effort toward creating an entertaining community and sort of put the rest of this on the back burner, and then this becomes an asset toward that other business.
Yeah, if you can buy a better sword for killing more people with on your game, on World of Warcraft or whatever, then there's utility to that purchase, even though it is virtual.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason. Okay, so if you were to back Weblo or Dad Labs, if you were to make an investment, which one would it be?
Well, I haven't met either of the teams, but
Oh yeah, you're big on teams.
but I guess if I were to be generous and just hope that the team at Weblo is smart folks and that they will adapt and change their business, which I think they definitely need to change it, then I would bet on them just because I think virtual goods and virtual worlds is that is definitely a big market. So they're in the right market, and I'll just have to assume that the team is good and that they can figure it out.
Because virtual always scared me. I always thought about like what's next? Hiring virtual nannies for your virtual kids, sitting on virtual couches and talking to your virtual therapists, and